will be called Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson, starring John Hodgman. We're getting a lot of brand awareness out of that title. It was in the public domain, so we took it. And unlike other reality shows where they try to hide the fact that the contestants are coached to say certain things, we actually show them in the confessional holding the script that I've written for them. And in fact, I have the script here for the first episode. And I need to ask some people to stage. Are Francis and Adrian here? Woo! Could you come on up? And Rob and Tanya, are you here? And Famous Tracy, are you here, Famous Tracy? It would be awful if Famous Tracy was skipping. No, there she is. Come on up, guys. So here's what I want you to do. Very nice. So you may recognize all these people from last time. That's right. Adrian and Francis you may recognize as Cream Gravy and Brown Gravy. From the gravy dispute and Judge John Hodgman at sea. And Rob and Tanya you may recognize as Christmas music at the appropriate time, Christmas, versus Christmas music starting on Labor Day, right? Was that right? And Famous Tracy, of course, is Famous Tracy. And I have the script of the first episode, and I hope you guys will help me read it, okay? It's designed to be as awkward as possible, so don't worry if it's a completely cold read. Francis, you'll be Amy. Adrian, you'll be Jeff. Let's see. Tanya, you'll be Gary Busey. You'll be Little Mike. Rob and Tracy, do you mind 2 pages? Right, you'll be Big Mike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this microphone to you, Amy. Go right out there and tell us your inspiring story. I will need a microphone. I'll use this one, please. Hello? Oh, good. All right. Are you ready? I'm pulling up my pants, so let's go.
When John Hodgman told me that I was being driven with a bag over my head to Greenfield, Massachusetts, at first I was like, what now? But then I didn't...
Okay, hang on. Great so far. Just a little note if you want it. Amy is kind of sassy. So like she wouldn't say, what now? She would be like, what now? You know what I mean? You want to just try it again from the top?
When John Hodgman told me that I was being driven with a bag over my head to Greenfield, Massachusetts, at first I was like, what now?
Yeah, right.
But then I did a quick search on myevoyagecheckplus.com.
We do a lot of product placement in this show. My eVoyage checkpoint, what is it?
Voyagecheckplus.com, and there are dashes between all words.
That URL cost a lot of money.
The new social network hub portal for judging small towns and local businesses. And I checked out all the reviews and photos. Many of them were like, Greenfield is not worth the money. The portions are too small and the service is snotty.
Bunch of complainers.
But then there were some sponsor links that John Hodgman had paid for, and they told a different story. When I learned about the beautiful countryside and foliage, the amazing restaurants and nightlife, and the BJ's Wholesale Club, I was like, oh yes, I can do this. It's on, Greenfield.
Very nice, thank you very much. Just a little context for those of you who don't know, Greenfield, Massachusetts is a shithole. All right. Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to say it was ever my dream to be driven around with a burlap sack over my head, and I still don't understand why they refused to feed me. And when I asked for water, they soaked me with a hose. They said it was for insurance reasons.
Insurance reasons.
But I will say this. I didn't expect the ride in the brand new, completely windowless Ford Creepo line. Is that Creepo line or
Creepo line.
Okay,
Creepo
just
line.
checking.
A brand new, completely windowless Ford Creepaline.
I didn't expect the Ford Creepaline to be that smooth. For a long time, I was like, when are we gonna get going? And that's when they said, we have been driving for hundreds and hundreds of miles. This is an incredible van.
It's a nice ride. Thank you very much, Jeff. Gary Busey. Gary Busey. Tanya, are you able to do a Gary Busey impersonation?
I don't think so.
Good.
Okay. I can just stand here. I'm not drunk.
Yeah, if you just sort of weave back and forth quietly, that's kind of a Gary Busey impersonation.
You don't understand. I grew up sharing a bedroom with my two sisters. I lived in the dorms all through college and nursing school, and then I got married. I never had a so-called room of one's own. So when they took the sack off my head and showed me the Horde house.
Horde house.
Yeah, Horde house.
Horde house.
I couldn't believe it. It was so huge, so beautiful. I said, really? Is this really all mine? And they said, no way. Only one room is yours. And you have 2 weeks to fill it with garbage and pumpkins and cats before the other contestants, or else you'll have to live here forever.
Thank you very much, Gary Busey. Could you please give the microphone to Little Mike, please? Your husband, Little Mike. I don't think Gary Busey went to nursing school, but I'm just going to have him say that. Okay, Little Mike, what is your inspiring tale?
Frankly, I wasn't sure I could do it. I'd never hoarded before. I'd never gotten into a screaming match with Gary Busey before. I'd never been to Western Massachusetts before. I was just a guy who had tried to make a fortune on penny farthing motorcycles and failed. Like everyone else. But then John Hodgman was like, are you gonna step up to the plate? Are you gonna go the extra yard? Are you gonna slam dunk this hoarding competition? And I was like, whoa! If John Hodgman can use sports metaphors, then anything is possible. Rules are different now. Maybe I can change. Maybe I can lose 100 pounds, make my family trust me again, and get these 1,000 amazing smelling Febreze noticeable air fresheners out of this dumpster and into a pile in the middle of the floor.
Thank you very much, Little Mike. So far, the absolute best pronunciation of amazing smelling Febreze noticeable air fresheners that I've ever heard on this or any other stage. Thank you very much. Now please, Big Mike, would you step forward, I mean really step forward, right into the light. This is your moment.
It's good.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. Look, I live in a wheelchair. No, I don't use a wheelchair. I live in a house shaped like a wheelchair. It was originally a novelty house outside of Atlantic City, and then it was closed due to a scandal, and then it was an insurance office for some years, and then it became a private home. Mine. The point is, I have never lived in a normal house, and I don't have the use of my arms. And despite all of my attempts to get someone to make a reality television show about my house and my arms, only TLC was interested, and then they rejected the pilot. So that is 3 strikes against me. And if I were to believe the sports metaphors John Hodgman is constantly yelling in the helmet he makes me wear, I'd be out. But you know what? It's been 179 days into a game that I was told would last only 2 weeks, and I'm still here. I'm still playing. I'm still hoarding, largely with my teeth, which is great, because my hoard item is delicious Kale City kale chips and kale wraps. I don't know how long I'm going to be forced to do this. Do any of us, really? I'm talking about life now, not just hoarding. The one thing I do know is that I've changed. I live in a normal shaped house. I have some great new friends. I'm learning to yell into a cell phone while holding it a foot from my face all the time. And don't forget, I'm doing all this without arms. Whatever happens next, I'm never going back to the way it used to be. Probably because John Hodgman will kidnap me again and leave me in a field or something.
Thank you so much, Famous Tracy, Adrian, Tanya, Rob, and Francis. Famous Tracy?
Yes.
Rematch? Tonight? Crow's Nest? After the mustache formal? No one needs to skip open mic. Should all go to open mic. Tracy and I have some personal business to attend to. So they Scrabble rematch, what I call the second most dangerous game. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much, everybody.